Last time on Spilling Positivity.
Reached out to her because why? I have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
So I reached out to her, as I said, and then she responded.
This week, time for part 2.
A WhatsApp call. And she said, sure, I'll get my mother onto it because I said first, cousin, I'm not sure exactly who you are to me, but I know you're somebody. DNA does not lie.
Yes, it doesn't.
So when I came home from church, she gave me her number. I called her, and my sister, who is her mother, gave me the whole story of my father's side of the family.
Wow.
So my father is Polish. He's from a long line of war heroes.
Okay.
Quite a influential family in Poland and so on. And I said, okay, that's fine. That's cool. But there's also a lot to this story, which I necessarily don't want to share. But my sister had a very, very hard upbringing. Actually, my sister and her father aren't on speaking terms.
Wow. He's still alive?
He's still alive. He's 96.
Okay.
He would have been 96 on March the 9th, I think it is. But his story is that he married an English woman. He was a fisherman, and he had a boat. He married an English woman in the UK, and then they took a trip for their honeymoon. Him, her, and a couple of other people. They took a trip to, I think, Corsica, and then they went down the coast. And anyway, they ended up in Trinidad.
Oh, wow.
They liked Trinidad, and they decided to stay.
Really?
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they decided to stay in Trinidad, and then my sister and brother, they were born in Trinidad.
Oh.
Okay.
So that was my father's side of the family. So I said, oh, fine. But, if you don't have a good relationship with him, I don't know necessarily that he's going to embrace me. But we'll see how it happens. But both sides of my family, let me tell you, they are the sweetest people.
Oh, wow.
So I have a brother and sister on my father's side. So fast forward now, I got a hit on the other side.
Right. The
mother's side now. So again, reached out, no response. And the reaching out was through Ancestry. And if you're not looking for somebody, you don't go on the website looking for messages. So I did all kinds of things to get to this person, which is my cousin.
Because by now you are feeling like
I'm excited now. I'm excited now.
And you're learning about your history, your family.
Yes. But it happened so fast that I didn't even have time to process it.
Right.
So like between the time Hannah reached out to me and the time I found my mother's side of the family, it was 3 days.
Wow.
That's a lot to process.
3 days.
Well, I have to drink some telling you that.
Yeah, for real.
So I reached out to her, as I said. There was no response. I tried all kinds of other things. I went on, I did Messenger. I tried to pull some files on Facebook looking for her. I did LinkedIn.
Wow.
Okay. You were an investigator.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
You became your own search squad person.
I realized that she had a brother and a couple sisters. I reached out to them too.
Right.
And that was where I got the breakthrough.
Okay.
So she has a sister, who would be my cousin, who is very active on Facebook. She's a really sweet lady. And she then responded to me the Sunday night. So I spoke to my father's side of the family the Sunday morning. I spoke to her by message the Sunday night. And then she told my sisters about me the Sunday night. Wow. So by the Monday morning, early. Sisters. By the Monday morning, one of my sisters WhatsApped, because I'd given her my number, WhatsApp called me. And she was like, we've been looking for you. My mother always said that she had 10 children and not 9. We go down to Diego Martin from time to time, with the little bit that they had. They would just go up and down the streets looking for where, they thought that I could have been, stopping people on the road who were like about my age range, asking if they knew. Let me tell you.
Wow. Well, how did you feel in that moment?
It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. I was the only child for 62 years, and then all of a sudden I had a sister and a brother, and now another sister because I had only spoken to her so far.
Right.
And it was like, it was something else. And then she
You got
said,
you very emotional, I'm sure.
very, very emotional. And it was early in the morning, so I went to work and wondering what, what would happen next. And then she walks at me and says, "We're coming.
Yep.
Wow.
We're coming." So the sister from Trinidad, the one from New York, two from Trinidad, one from New York, and one from Canada. They immediately booked flights and got on a plane and came.
With your mother?
No, not with my mother. But I said, I can book a flight and go down to Trinidad next week because that's where the majority of the family is. Y'all don't have to come. I said, no, we're coming. So they came and I met with them and it was fantastic.
That's beautiful.
It really, really was. And, these are people that I did not know before.
The day before.
The day before. But they are my sisters. And so I intentionally had to love them.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a choice.
Yes.
It was a choice. And that's
Yes.
what I tell everybody. It was a choice because they are my sisters.
Yeah.
They are my blood family.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so to have this kind of standoff thing to me, you've been looking for these people all your life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we very quickly gelled, connected, and they made it easy because, as I said, they had been looking for me.
And they were
Yeah.
open to
they were
receiving.
I mean, yes, and get on a plane and come down to see you.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
what a feeling of, you must have felt that love
Yeah.
because,
Absolutely.
and being wanted
Yes.
after years
Years
of
of
feeling
not
like you weren't
exactly.
wanted.
So you can imagine you go to the airport to meet this stranger, and this stranger runs into your arms.
Oh, wow.
And
Did you see
embraces you.
the physical connection in terms of like your resemblance and stuff like that? Or behavior patterns and traits?
I see it more with my mother.
Yes,
I'm
okay.
very, very much like her.
Okay.
Very, very, very much like her. I
Okay.
see it, and they say from time to time, "Boy, apple don't fall far from the tree,
tree.
boy." So I went down the next week to Trinidad, and I met the others because I have there were four. I'm the fourth, so there are three boys before me. There's only one brother that I haven't met yet. He lives in New York, and I hope to meet him soon. So there were three boys before me, and then a boy and a girl after me, and then two girls, three girls, and then a boy. So it's 10 of us in all.
Wow.
What was it feeling like meeting your mother? Seeing her
Yes,
for the
tell us
first
about
time?
that.
Yeah. So I was all about it. My children were a little skeptical at first. It's like, you going down there?
They wanted to protect you.
Yeah.
You don't know these people. And I was like, but they're my family though.
Yes, yeah.
They're my sisters and brothers though. So I have absolutely no qualms whatsoever. And so I kind of live in the moment as well. I don't really sit down and wonder what if and what not and so on. So I just embraced it as it came. It was, and I'm not that, maybe I'm a little animated today, but I'm really not that person. I just take things as they come. And so when I met her, it was very emotional for both of us. I was wondering on the plane, how, because it's not like I didn't have a mother.
Right.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised in a family with a loving family. And so I was thinking, how am I going to react
Yes.
to this person? But they made it so easy.
Easy.
They made it so easy. Michaela, my last daughter, she went down with me, so she got to meet them, and it was like this one big happy family reunion.
Wow.
Yes, yes, I
So
love
when
it.
your mother first saw you, when you walked through there, tell us about that. You got to get off the plane, you're picked up at the airport, and then you arrive at your mother's house.
Well, she laughs about everything. Everything is a laugh with her. It doesn't matter what is going on in her life, she will throw her head back and she will laugh. So she will laugh and she will cry at the same time.
Right.
And so it was. So we just embraced. I just came in and she held on to me and, she said, "Girl, I've been looking for you all my life and all your life and da 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 da." I can't even remember what she said, to be honest. But it was very, it was interesting. It was touching. It was emotional. It was fulfilling. And I'm still processing it, right?
Right, of course. This is within the last few months.
Four months or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like tomorrow is Mother's Day. It would be the first Mother's Day that I have with her.
Wow.
and she wears a hearing aid. She's a little hard of hearing, so when it's very interesting when we speak to one another, because she will not put in the hearing aid. So it's like it's like, yeah, you come in, no, I go in, you know. But you know, every couple of days we speak. We have a family chat.
Oh, nice!
Wow.
You know, all the children are involved. The children, like Michaela, has really taken to the cousins. So it's a whole family vibe that's going on.
Something going from, I'm an only child, so I can imagine that, you know, that feeling of now you have all these siblings and all this family.
Yep.
You know?
9 on one side and 2 on the other.
11.
11.
Imagine in less than 3 days, you
In
went
less than
from
3 days.
being a single child,
Only child.
Yeah.
Sorry, to now having 11 siblings.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my family is really, really interesting. You know, all families are interesting.
Yeah.
My family is really interesting. And then my sister from the UK and my niece and her sister, they came last month, I think it was.
Okay.
So you met them for the first time too?
So I met them for the first time, and they spent a week here, and so we connected as well. So you know, it's a different vibe. Obviously, they're from the UK. The other side of family from Trinidad, but it's love. It's love right through. It's love right through.
I'm so happy for
Would
you.
say
That's
to
beautiful.
anyone, though, that maybe when you started this journey, what were 2 or 3 things that you've learned from this entire experience?
Things happen suddenly. Never give up hope. Never give up hope. Don't look at other situations and think, oh, that can't happen to me. There have been so many things that have happened to me in the last, I would say, 5 years that I never thought would ever happen to me.
Right.
God is in control. He's in control, and he gives good gifts to his children. Right?
Amen.
If human fathers can give good gifts to their children, how much more?
Yes.
How much more God?
How much more?
How much more God?
Yeah.
And he gives you things when you're ready to receive it. It's timing as well.
Timing.
Timing is very important.
You think you could have received this gift 20 years ago?
I don't think so. I wouldn't have been in a position either mentally, maybe not even spiritually. I wouldn't have been mature enough maybe to handle it.
Right.
Yes.
I wouldn't have been in a place, you know, from an employment standpoint, even to do the traveling that I'm able to do now that I'm retired, and act on it, you know, really quick. His timing is immaculate. It is perfect. It is perfect. And I would just encourage anyone who's praying for something, just let your request be known to God. God knows what's best for you. He knows the best timing. He knows when you can receive it in the best way. So don't ever give up hope.
And trust.
And trust God. Trust God.
Yeah.
Trust God. All things work together for them who love the Lord and are called according to his purposes.
Amen.
I'm preaching today.
Yeah,
I'm preaching
but
today. But that
okay.
is the truth.
Right.
That is the truth.
Your life is a testimony to the possibilities, endless possibilities of hope, trust, and faith.
Yes.
And most of all, love.
Yes.
And that is, I'm so happy that you've taken the time to share that story with us, because that feeling of not knowing where you're from or where you sit, although you come from, you know, you have love, but not knowing where the roots are planted.
Yes.
So how many times have you been to Trinidad now?
But in the last 4 months, I think it's three times.
Yeah.
3 times. My mother had actually a Thanksgiving for me with her church at Easter.
Right.
So everybody came in again.
Okay.
And the people from her church came up, and we had prayers, and you know, it was just a wonderful time again of connecting.
Well, Anne, thank you so much. Your story is just beautiful.
Beautiful.
You know, and I really appreciate you sharing it with us, because it's really, as Maria said, hope, inspiration, faith, trust, all of those things wrapped up into one. And I'm really happy for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to share it.
Thank you for sharing,
Yes.
because you don't know how many lives you will touch with people who maybe, not even about family, but whatever they're going through. Miracles
do happen.
Every day.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Yes, for sure.
Well, thank you for watching. Just want to remind you to keep your faith, keep trusting, keep believing, and know that miracles do occur. Until our next episode of Spillin Positivity, please stay safe, and of course, please stay very positive. Take care.
Audio Jungle.